Welcome.
Well, hello. Day 29.
Yeah, welcome back to Sinister Sinema. Tonight we're talking about Rec 2. Dang, Mr. Monkey's on it. So fast.
He's on it. He is on it and he is bouncing. Yeah. Record 2.
Yeah, this is... I've seen all these movies before.
You've seen all 4 of them?
I've seen 1, 2, and 3. I haven't seen the 4th one. Honestly, I didn't know there was a 4th one.
They said that one's one of the better ones.
Okay.
They said 3 isn't. I haven't seen 3 and 4. I've seen clips, but 1 and 2 are in the building, 3's at a wedding, and 4's on a boat.
Okay. Yeah, the way 1 and 2 work, and 3, well, 1 and 2 really, is they're pretty much one big long movie. If you it literally picks up right where the first one leaves off,
like immediately afterwards.
Yeah, and the first one ends, you're just kind of like, oh fuck, like that's crazy. And I think it just made so much money and did so well. I mean, it did well enough overseas. Foreign movies never do that great here. Compared to other blockbusters, but it did well enough overseas that they were instantly made a U.S. remake of it with Dexter's sister. And
that movie sucked.
Quarantine.
It was fucking terrible.
And then they made this one, I think the next year, pretty quickly, with the same crew and everything, and one of the same actors. But I like this movie. We were going to talk about the first one, but then we ended up that we're going to talk about this one.
I like this one better. I mean, the first one is better, but I like this one better than the first one.
Well, the first one, it doesn't explain what's going on at all. You don't know what's going on, and you at the very end you kind of have like, maybe, but they never really answer it. And in the second one, they actually straight up tell you what's going on. And which is pretty awesome. I mean, I think it's a great concept for a movie. And
I thought when it came out, I thought it was the best horror movie that year.
Oh, really? The second one or the first one? Second one.
The second one.
Yeah. The general premise is there's a building. So in the first one, there's a reporter, and she is going to go on basically just a simple ride along and do a story on the firemen.
She does an overnight thing with workers.
Yeah,
that's her thing.
Yeah, and so one night her and her camera guy are going to go with some firemen, and it starts out she's just at the fire station and they're doing B-roll and just like looking at fireman stuff and
flirting and being flirtatious.
Yeah. Mr. Monkey knows all about that.
Yeah.
Women coming to the firehouse.
Women coming to the firehouse. Can I see your long hose?
Yeah. And so
does liquid come out of that long hose, Mr. Monkey?
Yeah, she's the lady that plays her, Manuela Velasco. She's a pretty...
Did you hear that?
She's a pretty famous actress, and this takes place in Barcelona. I said it with a T. I said more Castilian Spanish.
Barcelona.
But yeah, it takes place in Barcelona, and they get to this house where they're just gone. They're called on a call, and
they're like, we gotta go.
And she jumps on the truck with them. Shit goes sideways real quick. But
oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so tired.
That one ends with her getting dragged away into the darkness.
Yeah, so you have these, while she's in there, all this shit happens. They lock them in. They lock them in. They lock them in with all the firefighters. Shit gets crazy. There's little fucking rabid-like zombies, not slow shit. They're fast movers.
28 Day Later style.
Yeah. Motherfuckers falling down the middle of the stairwell, in the middle, splatting everywhere. And she makes it to the top. They're like, you got to go to the top. whoever's doing whatever happened, however it started, it's at the top floor. So she makes it up there, and all the power goes out. So she's there by herself with just the camera,
with night vision,
and the camera, and she falls. And the final scene is her looking around, like trying to find the camera, and then something drags her into the dark, and that's it. That's the way it ends, and it's like done.
Yeah.
Part 2 starts off exactly where part 1 left off. Same actress, pretty much all the same people that were in there.
Yeah.
That got turned are in this movie, but they're zombies now.
Yeah.
Or we'll explain what they are. So it starts off her getting dragged away, and then it cuts into a police SWAT van on the way with the Ministry of Health official. And he doesn't want to answer any questions. They're just to escort him in there. He needs to find out what's going on. Hey, Percio. He needs to find out what's going on. He needs to figure out where it came from. He just knows he needs to get to the top floor.
Yeah. I like that too, that they're just like the chief, they call him the chief, the head SWAT guy is there, and he's like kind of being like, whenever we get here, we need to do this. And then the two of the guys are just arguing about football. They're just like arguing about who's the better player, and it's so crazy because it's just like they have no idea what's coming, and it sets it up like a kind of what you would think if there were a couple of dudes riding together in a truck. Two of them are arguing about sports while the other ones are like trying to figure out all their gear and equipment. Oh, Percio, that's awesome. Yeah, that was a good movie. Did it just get released there, or did you just see it on online?
I can't remember who it was. One of the SWAT members, I don't know if it was Rosso or the chief. He's not known for movies like this. He's a comedian.
Oh, that's crazy.
So everybody in Spain knows him as being a comedic performer. And then he came out in this movie out of nowhere, and people were like, holy shit, this is crazy.
Is he like a big actor there?
Yeah, he's like a big comedy actor. Yeah. So, but he was one of those two guys. Rosso or Chief Fernandez. Gotta roll your R's today, dude.
Rosso.
Yeah, so they go in and fucking immediately shit just starts going ape shit. Like this movie starts off like fast.
Oh, nice.
So shit just starts going south. Like they go into they make it to the top floor. The Minister of Health says we need to go to the top floor. That's where we need to go. We need to find whatever. And he tells everybody, look around. Whatever you find, categorize everything. Take pictures, video.
Never turn off the cameras.
Never turn off the cameras. Keep recording everything. So you're like, what the fuck's going on? So they find a little fucking trap door in the ceiling, and they open it up and they go in there and they're looking around, and you're like, what the fuck?
It just looks like junk and stuff up there.
It's all dusty and nothing's there. There's nothing up here. And then they get down and they fucking start walking around. I don't know where this fucking crazy little zombified fucking kid with red eyes just pops down and starts fucking him up. And the Minister of Health is like, shoot him. Like, keeps telling him, shoot him. He's like, he's a fucking kid. And he's like, no, shoot him. So he grabs a shotgun and blows the little kid's head off.
Yeah, the Minister of Health guy does, because the cops don't want to do it.
And they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was crazy, too, because, I mean, he, like,
blew the
top of his head off.
And the kid was like, what, 4?
I don't know. He's a little kid. And they had already seen the pictures of the little kids, and they're like, what the fuck is this? Like, there are all these pictures of kids that are all, like, zombified, and they're trying to figure out what's going on, and he's not really wanting to tell them, and there's all this, like, religious stuff everywhere, but Yeah, he's not really wanting to tell them anything, and then he, like, shoots the little kid, and they're just, like, blown away. They're like, what the fuck? Like, all the SWAT guys have no idea, like, that, you know, this doctor just shot a kid, you know?
And one of they go downstairs to investigate because they hear something, and they're attacked by one of the residents. And Martos, one of the SWAT team members, is infected, and they fucking throw him in a room, and he starts doing a fucking spell on him, or holy rosary and shit.
Yeah, he stabs a knife into the thing and puts a rosary over the door and does like a prayer.
And they're like, what in the fuck is going on? And that's when he tells them what he is. He's like, oh, they go, what are you, or who are you? And when they pull his shirt, he comes down and he has a priest collar.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're a fucking priest.
One of the things I didn't like about this is when they first go into the building, they're doing a really good job of working their way up. Like the guys are, you know, have their shotguns and they're, you know, they're passing around each other. So they're like lowering their guns and like taking turns going up the stairs and covering each other, you know, like they really would.
They went through intense training.
But so that's what I was going to say. It looked like somebody actually showed them, hey, this is how you need to hold your gun. This is how you would do it if you were trying to sweep a building. But then after all that, I thought it was weird that they would go through all that training and then they would split the characters up. Like, they would never split up like that. Like, a SWAT team would not just be like, hey, just go see what's down that hallway all by yourself. Just like, you know, and you can't even see the corners or anything, and there's no way protecting you, and we already know there's zombies here.
But they only had one day of intense training. No, for real. It was just one day of intensive.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the writer, like, had to break them up like that so they could get attacked and picked off, you know? But it was just, that was one of the things where I was kind of like, to me, I was kind of like, man, you wouldn't go in there. You wouldn't send that guy in there by himself. Like, and they did it more than once. Even after the first guy got attacked, and they still sent another guy by himself into a room. So I thought that was a little bit cheesy, but the story.
So he tells him who he is. He was like, look, so the Vatican sent me. I work for the Vatican. A while back, this little girl named Tristana got possessed. She was showing demonic possession. So they didn't want to cause a lot of what am I trying to say? They didn't want to cause a lot of commotion.
Yeah.
So they sent her somewhere so they could do it without anybody knowing. So they sent her They sent her to the top of this fucking penthouse in this hotel or in this apartment complex.
Yeah, they basically like ran their experiments in a secret place where they couldn't be found.
And well, she's the root of the infection. It's not really an infection. It's fucking possession.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, so
they're not zombies, they're fucking possessed.
Yeah, the little girl is possessed, and she is the first. She's patient 0, so she is possessed, and that causes anyone she bites to become infected with the host of this demon the same way you would a virus. So that's what I thought was super cool, is the little girl is the main demon, but she has like a hive mind going on with all the other zombies.
So she can talk through all the zombies.
Yeah, and that, dude, it's such a good idea for a movie. And I think that it could even be redone under a different, using that premise under a completely different movie. Because it's a great premise, and you know, if you had a huge budget movie and a good script writer, you could do a really, really cool.
So that's when he tells the SWAT team, hey, we need to find her. I need to get a sample of her blood. This is the only way we can stop the infection. Which I don't know how they would stop it.
Because they said if they get...
I would think you would just... kill the demon.
And that's what they're actually there looking for, is some of the blood, and they do find a vial of it, but it gets broken. So the thing that's really kind of dumb about that as well is if they're able to get this vial of blood and take it and test it, they can stop it, but I don't understand why they weren't able to do it over all these years while they were testing her, you know? I mean, there's like little things like that are like plot holes, but the action in it's pretty good. The makeup's pretty good. Like it's, you know, there's definitely like a lot of CGI stuff in it, but there's some cool stuff that goes on in it.
So they get attacked again, and Lada, is that how you say his name? Fuck, I'm bad at this. He gets separated and he gets attacked by all these fucking possessed demon people. So he has no choice. He goes into the restroom and they start kicking in the door and they tell him, you know what to do. You know what to do. Just do it. And he puts the fucking gun in his mouth and he blows his brains out. Yeah, while he's looking to the mirror, I thought that was fucking badass. Like that's a good shot. That was a good scene.
Yeah, that was pretty messed up.
Yeah, he puts the gun in his mouth, he blows his brains out.
I thought they were telling him you still have a pistol, you can get out of there.
Oh, I thought they were telling him to use the pistol on himself.
I think he just did that because he was like, I mean, that fool went through like, you know, 90 bullets trying to kill those things in his machine gun. He wasn't gonna do it with a little pistol. Yeah,
I thought they were just telling him to do it. But then I guess after he does it, they're all, no. Yeah, so maybe they weren't telling him. So that happens and they're all like, fuck, and they don't know what to do. And then all of a sudden, he's like, they're like, Chief, we're getting a incoming message from Lara's fucking helmet. So you kind of hear something and then it cuts off. And it shows outside of the building again.
Yeah.
And it shows the SWAT team showing up. The ones that are in the building already.
Yeah, we've time jumped backwards.
Yeah, we went back a little bit, and it shows these kids, 3 kids fucking around trying to get into the building, wanting to see what's going on. And there's a guy there also that wants to get in because his wife and kids are in there. So it starts following them. They have their own camera.
Yeah.
So they get in, they go to the sewers, and
they see him talking to a fireman, and the fireman's looking around, and the fireman leads them through the sewer that lets them in. And the fireman wanted in because he wanted to try to get his firefighter friends from the first movie out of there. And these kids with a video camera follow him in because they want to be famous on the internet. I think is kind of what they're going for. Because earlier they'd tried to do like a little stunt, but they get into the building, and shit goes sideways for them too. Shit just goes sideways for everybody in the city.
So then it gets up to the point where it shows them picking up his helmet and contacting him. And then all hell breaks loose for them too. They wind up getting attacked, and they wind up fucking turning. So when the SWAT team members finally reach him, the little kid, he's all fucking possessed.
Yeah.
And he's all talking in this crazy fucking voice. And they're holding him down, and he has a rosary. And he's all like, where are you? And he's just telling them, you'll never find me. And
I'm high above you.
And I'm like, bitch, he's upstairs still.
Yeah.
She's upstairs. That's what she said. She's telling you. So when they're there, they, but that's before they go back. They lock him in the room, the kid. And guess who fucking pops out with a camera? The fucking reporter, the chick. So it makes you wonder. You're like, wait a minute, she got dragged away in the first one.
Yeah, how did she escape?
And all of a sudden she's back. Yeah, right. Okay, cool. She's kind of shocked, but she says she's all right. And they fucking they realize that he figures out his cryptic message. The kid says.
Yeah. Yeah, and
so they go back. They're like, he's upstairs.
Yeah. Oh, he's upstairs. He says he's high above us. Blah blah blah. Yeah, he's upstairs. Yeah, they get upstairs. I thought like it was really cool how
they found that hidden door with the infrared and the camera.
Yeah,
you can
that
only
was
see
cool.
That shit.
Well, that's what they figure out. Like because the demonic possession and everything is so strong there that it's basically you can't see any of the demonic stuff in regular light, and they actually say some Bible scripture about them being cast into the dark. And so they're like, light will not reflect off them. We can't see them with our eyes. And so they use the camera that has night vision. And everything looks different. Like even, like where there's the operating table, as soon as they switch to the night vision, it's like this weird puddle of water, like a well kind of. And they're trying to figure that out, but they're having to turn all the lights off so everybody's in the dark, but you see them through the night vision, which I think is really cool because it's real creepy looking, and it's even, creepier if you see it on a big screen. But the thing I really liked about it was was it the chief that got grabbed and pulled into the water? Yeah, so the chief is like, they're like, it's right there in front of you. He starts feels the water, and all of a sudden someone grabs him and yanks him in the water, and they turn the lights back on, and the whole well is just completely gone.
Yeah,
like,
it's
just like not even there anymore. And I thought that was really cool. That it kind of reminds me of like of Silent Hill. Whenever the darkness comes in, like in the video game, everything changes. Like it's not the same as it is whenever the lights are on and the demons aren't around.
They probably referenced that shit.
Yeah, probably. But
and then fucking who pops out? Fucking the little girl.
Oh yeah.
What's her name? Christina? I can't say her name. She pops out. Holy fuck! She's so fucking spooky, dude.
Yeah.
It's played by that other. So there's the guy that does Guillermo del Toro movies.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot his name. I think he's a dick. He sounds like a dick. He's real conceited. But there's also this Mexican actor.
You're talking about Doug Jones and
Doug Jones.
Yep.
The other guy, I don't know his name, but he's done Mama, and he did some of the characters in Crimson Peak.
Okay.
Well, that dude is like skinnier than Doug Jones, and he played the girl.
Okay. Yeah, the girl is like 6 foot tall, looking crazy. I mean, it looks like
her titties are all low, dude, gross. Like, it is spooky as fuck.
It is. That to me is like one of the creepiest things because how it's shot in the dark, and it's like the way that it's like moving and how skinny and like,
and the face, her face is all stretched.
Oh man, it looks so creepy.
She's just all smelling around in the dark.
Yeah, because she can't see them either.
It comes up right up to the camera, and she's all sniffing the camera.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. And they end up. What I thought was weird is they end up killing her.
Yeah, the reporter, the girl, she winds up getting the shotgun, and it finds her and it grabs her, and she winds up blowing its fucking head off.
Yeah, and that's what I thought weird is like the priest was like, "Why'd you do that? Now we needed her. We needed all this." I'm like,
did you see all the blood
out of the dead body?
When they blow her head off, you see all the blood that was squirting out of the top. That shit was badass.
I was like, why can't you just get some blood out of the dead body?
And she was like, fuck you, we need to... And the only way they can get out of there is the priest has to say his name.
Yeah, he has to do a voice recognition for them to
and he won't fucking do it. He won't do it.
Yeah.
So he keeps telling her, the reporter keeps telling him, say it. And he's like, no, I need to complete the mission. And by then you're like, what the fuck is the mission anyway? Like,
to get blood, but like, where are they going to get it from now? Well, at this point, he just didn't want to unlock the door. I think he was like, well, we all have to die here to try to stop this, And yeah, it's really a short movie, and it's like it's more action than it is storyline, Like there's a lot of, we're literally have nearly described the entire movie.
Yeah, but there's not a lot to it.
There's not. But it's still really good, and it's actually, there's parts that are terrifying, and I think the lady at the end is the main demon is like very creepy, and like thinking about, they're not just zombies, they're zombies that are being controlled by a demon. That's like, I think that's like such a cool thing. But at the end, everybody's dead except for the reporter and the priest. And she's saying... Yeah,
the chief tries to stop her, and she fucking blows his head off.
Yeah. And she's like, give the order, let us out of here.
So that's when you realize, wait a minute, she's fucked up. Like when she kills the chief, you're like, so she winds up killing the priest, right?
Well,
how does she kill him? I forgot.
He says you're not going, you need to let us out of here, give the order. And he's like, no, I'm not going to. And she like says, it would have been, all of a sudden she kind of laughs and she says, and she's sitting on top of him, she goes, it would have been great if you would have been the one to let me out of here, but do you think I really need you? And then she grabbed his microphone and gets kind of close to his ear where he can hear her, and he's like giving the orders in his voice. And so they're like, okay, we'll unlock the door. And then she also says, I'm going to stay in the building because I'm infected. There's one woman coming out.
And she kind of looks all weird in the camera, and then it cuts off.
Yep.
And then there's a flashback from before she got dragged away, or after she got dragged away.
Yeah.
They show her pinned down.
Oh, man, that was awesome. I love that part.
And you see that the little girl, or now the creature, the demon, holds her down and opens her mouth and gets right up to her, and this giant fucking maggot type.
It's like the biggest mealworm in the world.
Demon worm goes down her throat. You can see her throat swell, and that's how she was possessed. Which I don't know. I mean, it was a cool scene, but I don't know.
It just grossed me out.
How did? So what about the other ones? Like, was that the actual demon? I guess
I think that was the actual demon, and it had just warped the girl's body into that because it was living in there. It just warped it into.
So why was it still alive then? Because that happened at the beginning of part 2. Wouldn't she have died, the little girl, or was she still possessed?
I think that
or was it just producing?
I think the little girl at that point, that was like the tall giant woman, after she was all deformed out, I think she was just a rambling zombie like that had been used up at that point, and that's why I think she wasn't really a threat to them while they were seeing her in the dark, because she wasn't really doing anything. I mean, she was just like, rah, but she wasn't like, she didn't really like attack them bad or anything. It wasn't like the regular ones were tougher than she was. So I think she was just a used up shell.
And now the reporter was the actual demon.
Because the first time I saw it, I was kind of like, why is this thing like having such a hard time if it's this like super powerful demon? Why can't it
it makes sense.
And I think it's because it was just the used up shell. The demon already left her.
So are they still demons in part 3?
Yeah, they're still demons in part 3.
Cool, I'm going to have to watch it. I haven't seen part 3 or 4. I mean, I've seen clips. Part 4 has some really good on Watch Mojo on YouTube. Like some of the best scenes of them attacking people and shit. Yeah. I'm like, fuck, I gotta watch it. Yeah, all the people at the beginning scene when all those people are outside and the police.
Yeah,
those were real people and police.
That's cool. I saw that they like use like hundreds of extras for
300 extras.
And the first one there was like 10 actors total, and like in this one it was like, hundreds of actors.
The cameraman in part 1 actually plays a SWAT team member in this one. You just don't know it's him because they don't really show him in the first one, but he plays one of the SWAT team members. And all the shrieking zombies, they added that after they finished filming because they didn't want to do it on film because then you wouldn't be able to hear certain parts of the lines that they said. So they actually added it afterwards so they could go around and like change the frequency so you'd be able to hear what they're saying while the zombies are screaming.
That's cool. So do you know, is she in the 4th one as well? That main actress?
I don't know. Was she in part 3?
Yeah, she's in part 3.
Damn, I really have to see it then.
But
did you like part 3? What you remember?
Yeah, I don't really remember it that well. I feel like out of all of them, the second one's actually my favorite one.
Yeah,
Which is weird. I think I told you earlier, like, did you saw the quarantine movies?
Fuck that. I saw
the first one.
The second one, I actually went to the fucking movies to watch.
I did too. Because I saw this and I thought, like, oh, it's gonna probably be good.
I think that's what ruined me about doing watching remakes. It was so bad. So bad.
Yeah, it just kind of sucked, like because the second one, they didn't even it wasn't even like the first one. Like the second one that
it's on a plane, right, or some shit.
I don't even remember, but it's not.
Oh, fuck that! I didn't even
it's not the same.
Quarantine 2, Electric Boogaloo. A lot of the footage that was used.
Oh no, it's not the same girl. It's not the same girl from the third one.
A lot of the footage actually used in the movie were filmed by the SWAT team members because they had cameras in their helmet, and they just used that.
That's kind of cool.
So they were their own stars, actors, and fucking filmers.
That's cool.
Is that a word?
Yeah.
Filmers?
Yeah, filmographers.
Filmographers. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Shit. It's really a short movie. Like, it's quick and to the point. Like,
yeah.
They go in, they get fucking killed, they get possessed. Bingo, bango, bongo.
And they're out.
She's out.
It looks like she's not in Rec 3, but she is in Rec 4.
Maybe that's why that one got high scores.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, there wasn't not a lot of trivia on this one either. Not a lot of...
Well, I think a lot of times with IMDb as well, when you're looking for stuff like that, it's a very American app. So if people that are contributing aren't in America, then it doesn't get... If the films aren't, like, huge... Because these films weren't that big in the U.S. They really didn't do... Like, the U.S. box office wasn't that high. They did great overseas. They did great in Europe, but they didn't do great here. And I think Europe also, it's easier. I'm sure this was probably dubbed into a couple different languages over there, and I think a lot of people there watch because of the geography and how many different languages there are. It's just movies do better there when they're not in They can do better there, not in English, than they do here.
Hey, what's up, Frankie? So I'm going to tell you how I found out about this movie. I was in El Paso, guest sitting at a shop, and some guy came into the shop, and he's like, "Hey man, you want to buy some bootleg DVDs?" And I was like,
"Was it still out at the theater?"
No, it wasn't. I didn't even know it was out. I had no idea that part 2 it was even being made, I guess.
Yeah.
So I was like, no. I always told him, no, I don't buy. I buy actual DVDs. I don't buy pirated shit. So he goes, oh, I got so and so. I got this one. Oh, and I got this new one. It's called REC2. And I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, REC2. And I go, let me see it. And I was like, oh, fuck, Rec 2. I said, I didn't even know they fucking had Rec 2.
Yeah.
And I told him, is it a good copy? Is it a good burn? And he was like, oh, yeah, it's a good burn. So I was like, how much? And he was like, $5. But don't worry, I bought it still. I liked it. So I went and bought a real copy of it. But I went to my friend's place that night because we stayed when I was in El Paso. And I fucking watched it. And I was like, holy fuck, this is amazing. So when I got home, I went and bought it when it came out on DVD.
That's cool.
And I had it for a while. I had 1 and 2, and I don't know what the fuck happened to them. They have a set 1 through 4, but it's fucking expensive, dude. When they're foreign like that.
I saw that whenever we talked about doing this, when I looked up to see how much they were, and I was like, dang, these are expensive.
Like, it's because they're not. A lot of people don't buy them, so.
Yeah, so this thing made $18 million worldwide on a $5.5 million budget. But in the U.S., the total U.S. and Canada gross was $27,000.
Are you fucking kidding me?
$27,000.
And that's probably one of the best horror movies that came out that year.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? And I think I think it's getting better now that people are like, I'll go see, I think a lot of actors or a lot of directors have made things that are in other languages. So it's like, like Guillermo del Toro, I think Pan's Labyrinth is so amazing that a movie like that is people go to watch it even if they hate watching movies that they need subtitles. It's still going to do well, and I think that's helped. So, I think that's not as much of a limitation as it was 20 years ago, but yeah, I think it's crazy that it only did $27,000 total.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't seen it, y'all need to watch it. It's a great. But I recommend watching both of them. They're kind of short.
They're short. What's the runtime on this thing? They're short, and they're also they go together. I mean, they really are. It's like they're one movie. It's really kind of crazy. Man, it's an hour and 25 minutes. I thought it was shorter than that.
It didn't seem like it. It seemed a lot shorter.
Yeah, I think it's just because it's a lot of nonstop action. So it's like it got good pacing, I guess, because it's
lots of possession screams.
Yeah. I was reading they added like a lot of that after in post production. Like most of that was added in post production. But yeah, it's a good movie. I would definitely suggest it if you don't mind, or if you know Spanish, then you're good. So
I didn't have my sap on. Is that what it's called?
What's that?
The sap.
I don't know what sap is.
Back then, you used to have to turn it on.
That's what it made it. That was like what they called closed captioning or something.
Yeah. Way back when. So that's it on this one, huh?
Yeah, I don't really got anything else to say about this. I mean, I would say anybody who is not working tomorrow and can spend the night watching TV and you have Netflix, you should go start watching the Guillermo del Toro shorts that it just came out on Netflix. Amazing. They are amazing.
I want to talk about, no spoilers though, but the one I just saw last night.
Hey, Paco.
Pickman's Model.
Yeah, dude. I've been reading a lot of H.P. Lovecraft lately.
You guys start having nightmares, dude.
I know. I did last night. I actually woke up breathing hard last night. Like, it was crazy. Because I
should have fucked with your head.
I've been reading it before going to bed every night. So, after we watched, which one is it? Not Prince of Darkness.
Mouth of Madness.
In the Mouth of Madness. So in the Mouth of Madness, there's a lot of Lovecraftian stuff in there. And the hotel they stay in is called like Pickman's Inn. And in Pickman's Inn, there's a painting that they see. There's like a basement with some fucked up stuff that goes on in it. And I was like, oh, that's from... Because I had read Pickman's Model before, and so I said like, oh, they totally, that little parts after that book, and I think I said that when we were discussing the movie. So right after that, I read it again. I think like a week after we talked about that, and so the latest episode that we both watched of Cabinet of Curiosity is called Pickman's Model. And it's a very good, I think it's a very good
interpretation
take on it. Yeah, it's great.
Directed by Keith Thomas, who directed The Vigil,
which is another great movie.
That movie is kind of creepy.
Shit.
It kind of creeped me out. You want to watch something
creepy?
Mr. Monkey, you want to watch a scary movie with the kids? No nudity, no cussing, right? It's just,
I don't think so.
Fucking creepy, dude. Like, they will get scared.
Make sure and have all the windows open.
Yeah, all the windows open.
Pitch dark.
Pitch black, just a TV on. Good old-fashioned scare.
Yeah, it's got some scary little parts in there.
I mean, it is called The Vigil, and it takes place in a house.
Yeah.
In a small house at that.
It's like 5 actors.
If that. Yeah, there's some creepy shit in there. So
yeah.
It was cool what he did with this. It's about a art student going to art school at Arkham University. No, what is it? Miskatonic University in Arkham. And he's the top. He's a big dog. Amazing artist. And they get a new student called Mr. Pickman. What's his first name? William?
Richard.
Mr. Fucking Pickman, played by Crispin Glover.
Yeah. He was definitely way older than any of the other actors.
But still, I like his nose, his prosthetic nose. That was cool. And his accent, I thought it was cool.
Yeah, he has a very old school,
very thick,
like super upper New England, like upper class accent.
And he thinks out of the box. His artwork is out of the box. And actually, it inspired me. Seeing his drawings and what he's drawn inspired me. I'm like, man, I want to fucking start drawing on paper again. Because all I do is draw on the iPad now.
Yeah.
And I was like, watching that, I was like, fuck, I want to draw on paper again. So I'm gonna buy a bigger sketch pad, and I have a bunch of microns already, but I want like some pencils and stuff. I want to order some mechanical pencils. But yeah, it's just what happens after he shows young Mr. William the star student starts showing him his drawings or his paintings, and what happens is starts affecting his mind and shit.
Yeah.
But no spoilers. You got to watch it for yourself. I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, and the story, the short story, the actual Lovecraft story is it's kind of one of the more popular ones, I think, but I don't think anyone's ever made a full show about it, which it's about an hour long, right? They're an hour long. And they adapted it very well. I mean, it's different because the short story, the Lovecraft story is our main character, Thurber, is telling another person in the art world about Pickman. So it's just him telling the story of Pickman and his encounter with him and kind of how it made him feel, but and other little things, but like they took it to a whole, like they built an entire before and after.
Yeah, it's great. That ending, dude.
Story.
I knew
so good.
I knew something was up.
So good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say shit. You just need to watch. I was like, oh fuck. Like it's pretty.
But yeah,
hardcore.
it's one of the best. It's one of the best Lovecraft things I've seen from, because like some of them I've watched movies based on. They're like, this is based on this, and then you read, it, and you're like, that I don't get it. Like I mean, like that put an idea in your head, but I mean, it's like Dagon. Like Dagon is a story of a guy lost at sea. And he wakes up and he's on this weird island where there's like gods carved into walls that look like fishmen, and then he's rescued and he's like, no one's gonna believe me, and it's like 4 or 5 pages long, and it has nothing to do with the movie. Like the movie's completely, creates this whole nother world, and that doesn't really. I mean, I guess you assume that happened, something happened like that in the book, but it's like, this, like you can, even though the short story is super short, the way they did the film, you can totally 100% see how everything they did in that, could have come from, what he says in the book. So it's like really cool.
Yeah. I think that's my favorite episode so far.
Yeah, mine too. By far, that's my favorite one.
But there's another H.P. Lovecraft next called Dreams of a Witch House.
Yeah.
I think I might watch that tonight.
Yeah, that one is another one of his really popular stories. And hadn't someone already done an adaptation of that before?
Fucking what's his name? That directed Stuart Gordon.
Oh, okay.
Did a hour-long Masters of Horror.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I wonder.
It's on that. I lent you the disc.
Yeah.
You need to watch it.
Yeah. I need to watch that one.
My favorite Masters of Horror. If you haven't seen, I need to buy season 2. They were so good, dude. My favorite one was Cigarette Burns. Such a good one. John Carpenter. I think that might have been his last directorial.
That's crazy.
That one's a good one. It's about a possessed film. If you watch the film, it makes you go crazy.
That's cool.
And then you find out why, and you're like, holy fuck. Like, it's great. Like, he did a good job.
That's cool.
But yeah. What do we have coming up?
Let me see.
2 more motherfucking days.
2 more days, and then I'm going to take a vacation.
Mama, what is vacation?
The movie's in my head.
Look at that.
2 more. Holy shit.
Look at that. 2 more days. I cannot believe we made it.
I know.
I mean, knock on wood, I could wrap my truck around a fucking tree tonight.
Dude, I'm going to talk about both these movies without you. And I'm going to have like a little in the corner down here. If you go tonight, instead of you being there, it's going to be a picture of you, but with some angels around you. And it'll be all cloudy.
And it's going to say Carlos.
Yeah.
1942 to 2022.
In remembrance.
In remembrance.
And then I'm going to get that same thing tattooed on my back. Then I'm going to the same thing put on the back windshield of my car, my truck.
And you're going to get my name on you with the dates. And then on this side, my astrology sign with the dates.
Yep.
And then you're going to get that same tattoo I have with the rip and the Spider-Man. Yep. And then the rip with the Captain America. Then the rip with the Captain America shield. And the rip with the eagle head. And then that rip.
That's not what I'm getting. I'm getting a Doug the dog paw, but ripped with a Pupacito paw.
Oh, Mr. Monkey.
Yeah, airbrush shirt. Well, the tattoo's going to look like an airbrush. So I'm going to get a Doug the dog paw, and that's going to be ripped, and then a Pupacito paw under that, and that's going to be ripped, and then your little baby face is going to be down there from that one picture I have of you when you were a child.
That's going to be fucking rad.
Yeah.
So rad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tomorrow, 30 Days a Night. That's a good one.
Yeah, I love that movie. Joshua Hartnett.
He's so dreamy. I mean, he's no Brad Dick, but...
No. But still good.
And then, to end it all, Halloween ends.
Yep. And Halloween will end whenever we end it. We got to get that shit done. It's at 6:00. I'm going to be out of here by 6:15. So we'll talk about the movie for about 5 minutes. We'll have our 5-minute countdown. Talk about the movie for 5 minutes. Give a 5-minute outro, and then I'm hitting the clubs.
Hitting the clubs.
I already got my sexy toothpaste costume. It's like a toothpaste. There's a cap right here, though. So the cap is here.
So you're already like folded up?
Yeah, it's folded up here.
Like you're already been used up?
Yeah, it's folded up here, and then it goes down, and then there's a cap right above my leg, where my legs come together, if you know what I mean. And you can take that cap off. Yesterday,
Lyric was like, oh, they want me to go out, but I don't have a costume. And I was like, Lyric, you have a black shirt? Yeah. You have black pants? Yeah. Do you have black shoes? Yes. I'm like, do you have jumper cables in the back of your trunk? And she's all like, yeah. I'm like, so what you're going to do is dress all in black, grab the jumper cables, start them right here, wrap them around you, go down one leg, duct tape them. And then when you won't go out, people are going to be like, the fuck are you supposed to be? And you just say, I'm jumper cables. And she was like, you're so fucking stupid. And she was like, but that just might work.
I think it could.
That's the easiest costume in the world, dude. It's a costume. What are you supposed to be?
Yeah.
I'm fucking jumper cables. Dude, that's fucking great.
Are you going to wear a costume on Monday? Because I don't know what to do.
Fuck no, I'm not.
Okay, good. I was scared here. So
what do you think?
I think this is pretty good. I think this is a good stopping point.
Yeah.
It's Saturday night. We still got to go out, find some bitches.
Find some hoes.
No, not literally. My dog ran away.
Oh, shit. That's right. Okay. All right.
So I got to go put up the little flyers, staple them up, put the little reward sign that I'm not ever going to give anybody. I'm going to be like, oh, I was offering that, but I thought you were going to be kind enough to be like, no, I don't need no reward.
Take little Chancho back.
Yeah, I don't really have any money. But, you're already here with my dog, and I've got your license plate.
You named your dog Chancho, but it's a girl dog. And it ran away with her little period panties on.
I don't know what Chancho means. I just thought it was a cool Mexican name.
Yeah. So somewhere out there, Chancho's running around with period panties. And I think it's so cute.
We'll find her. It's not a big city.
You're never going to find her. They're either going to keep it or they're going to make it into barbacoa.
No barbacoa, Chancho.
No barbacoa, Chancho.
Okay. Well, I think that's about it. You guys come back tomorrow night. Thanks everybody for coming by. Mr. Monkey, Paco, Frankie.
We need to hang out, Frank. What happened?
Nothing. I'm just scrolling. Percio. Yeah. We'll see you guys tomorrow when you can tune in and talk shit.